There's no coming back from this mistake. See, back in 2015, tens of thousands of people made a fatal error. And that error was faith. 12 billion worth of faith because of one thing. But they had to have known, right? I mean, the thing we're dealing with put 6 people in the hospital, is known to cause issues and be aggressive, doing things specifically to intimidate, causing stress-induced hair loss for the people who are supposed to take care of it, and causing harm for no reason other than its own enjoyment. So what could this thing be that caused such a massive impact and financial loss for thousands? Well, it was a fucking horse.
Visionary like Webster making a dictionary. Niggas go to church, but they never part of the mission. Every time I tell the truth, I'm good times painting in the flesh. And Mona Lisa was a deuce.
All right, but real quick, before we get into this, I got a question. Who the f is Margaret? See, I've been getting these weird same emails from Margaret, Shannon, Kimberly, all these random people I've never met at all. They just say, hello, Kurt, with nothing on. Actually, not all of them. They did mix it up once. This one said, hola. Well, as much as I want to think I'm popular, it's spam, obviously. And you probably get stuff like this too. Random calls from numbers you've never seen, sketchy texts about packages being delayed that you never ordered. Yeah, there's a reason for that. Your personal information, your name, phone number, addresses, and even in some cases your social security number is literally being bought and sold by thousands of data broking companies right now. These companies scrape your data from everywhere and sell it to whoever's buying. Whoever's buying. And I'm like, bro, Margaret knows a little too much about me. I don't like that. Well, there is a good thing. You have the right to request these companies to delete your data. But the bad thing is there's like thousands of them, and each one has their own removal process. You'd literally spend years filling out forms and sending emails. If it wasn't for this video sponsor, Incogni. Brilliant transition. Incogni does all that work for you automatically. You sign up and they reach out to all the data brokers on your behalf and handle the objections and get your data removed. Just like that. Boom, poof, gone. In fact, I'm not gonna lie, it's actually been hard trying to find examples for this video because I installed Incogni a few months back and now I really don't get anything. And also with their new unlimited plan, you can even point to specific sites where your info is visible and they'll take care of that too. And just gone. And finally give you some peace of mind. No more Margaret holding all my data and scammers holding yours. So if you want peace of mind about your data too, go to incogni.com/CurtRichy and use code CurtRichy for 60% off. That's incogni.com/CurtRichy, code CurtRichy to get 60% off Incogni today. Get your personal data off the market. Thank you, Incogni, for sponsoring this video.
So I don't know if y'all are on Twitter, but my timeline has been absolutely flooded with horse girls recently. Not like horse girls, like basically a girl with ears. Now look, I'm in the anime sphere, so I've seen these characters before, mostly from artists I follow who are let's say enthusiastically invested in drawing these horse women in various states of artistic expression. But suddenly it wasn't just the artists anymore. It was everybody. I'm seeing memes, images, pictures. Like this stuff is just taken over. And especially of this character, a horse girl with white hair and bangs that everyone seems to be obsessed with. Now these characters are for something called Uma Musume Pretty Derby, which literally translates to horse girl Pretty Derby. It's a mobile game where famous Japanese racehorses are reimagined as anime girls who run races and also sing idol songs.
But beyond being a cute girl gotcha game, what does hook you in? What a lot of people are starting to take interest in are the real life horses that the anime girls are based off of.
Their personality, their running styles, their relationship with other characters is all based on real horses' racing records and documented behaviors, which is pretty cool. Now, Uma Musume has been huge in Japan since 2021. We're talking $2.5 billion huge. And the reason why I'm seeing it on my timeline is because on June 26, 2025, it was released in the West with a full English translation. And that character I've seen is now everywhere. Her name is Goldship. She's fun, silly, likes to joke around, kind of just your usual run-of-the-mill gag character. And so since all these characters have real backgrounds, I looked deeper into the background of this one that had everybody's attention. And bro, let me tell you, the story of Gold Ship is way deeper and more intense than anything.
She see money all around me. I look like I'm the man. Yeah, but I was
Okay, so to understand why Gold Ship broke the internet, you first need to understand what normal racehorses are like. See, typically thoroughbred racehorses are athletes, $1 million athletes. They're trained from birth to do 3 things: run fast, turn left, make money. They go under strict routines, they eat carefully measured meals. Most racehorses are so well trained that they'll walk calmly to the starting gate, stand quietly while loaded, and then explode right into action when the gates open. It's muscle memory. It's specifically what they're bred for. And then there's this nigga. So what exactly are we dealing with here? So imagine an incredibly talented athlete who's also certifiably insane. We're talking about the Dennis Rodman of horses. Like, just to dazzle on a little perspective real quick. This is a horse whose trainer is a direct quote where he compares him to a rock star on drugs. That is a professional describing a horse. Gold Ship was born March 6th, 2009. And the circumstances of his birth were also quite funny. See, eugenics is usually a really bad thing unless we're talking about horse. And for horse rating, we need to eugenics ourselves a good horse. Anyway, so a horse named Point Flag kept producing these big, weak-legged foals, or like young horses. There's gonna be a lot of jargon in this video. So the breeders brought in another horse named Stay Gold, a tiny stallion, hoping for a compact, manageable baby. Also worth knowing, Stay Gold was also considered a terrorist, and that's not my words, like legit. That's what it's right here. So instead, they got a massive gray colt who would grow to over 500 kilograms. That's 1,100 pounds in freedom units. And from day one, training this horse was like negotiating with a terrorist. He would kick his trainers, he bit people. Specifically, he sent 6 of his handlers to the hospital over the course of his career. In fact, his personal groom, Takatoshi Imanami, developed stress-induced hair loss. Like, how you get alopecia from a horse? They had to put red ribbons on his tail, which is a universal sign in horse language for stay the fuck away from this guy. Even right before races, Gold Ship allegedly would often make a lot of noise and try to intimidate other horses. But Gold Ship wasn't just randomly violent either. He was calculating. There's this other horse named Tosin Jordan who Gold Ship just decided to not with, no documented reason, but every single time they met, Gold Ship would try to attack him. Years later, still holding that grudge. I swear, look at all this information, this motherfucker was sentient. Gold Ship seemed completely aware of his own behavior. He'd stare directly in cameras and make faces, and not random horse expressions or the fuck that is, like deliberate theatrical poses, tongues out, eyes crossed. Japanese racing fans have entire collections of these face gags. Like, here, look. What's crazy is that bro was the GOAT. Or the horse. Over the course of his career, he ran in 28 races and won 13 times. That's almost half. But if you look at the rest of the stats, he only finished second 3 times and third twice. The rest of the races, honestly, it looks like he just phoned it in. Japanese fans even gave him a nickname based on this pattern, Strawberry Daifuku, because in 2013, he went from first to fifth to first to fifth, bouncing between brilliant and did not feel like that shit. His jockey Norihiro Yokoyama once admitted he rode Gold Ship with the feeling of please run. Imagine being like the top of your field and you're having to resort to thoughts and prayers. But that's the thing, when Gold Ship was in the mood, he was unstoppable. Now, quick primer for all the people who just started caring about this today as well. Horses start in their mechanical gates that open simultaneously, and first one across the finish line wins. In Japan, the biggest races are called grade 1, like Super Bowl level. Win 1, you're elite. Well, what if you win 6? Well, Gold Ship did, and now, which is insane, bro. 6 Super Bowl rings? But that's not even the craziest thing. It wasn't that he won. It was how he won some of these. See, Gold Ship did a rather common thing he did in a lot of races that Japanese fans dubbed Gold Ship Warp, which while normal horses burst from the gate for a fighting position, Gold Ship would be in the back of the pack, like all the way in the back. And then at the end of the race would come back through and pass everyone. The acceleration was so explosive and sudden, the announcers would always lose their minds trying to call it. The 2012 Satsuki show was peak Gold Ship. Horrible weather had turned the track into mud, and most of the horses were struggling, and so was Gold Ship. Bro was in dead last and stayed in dead last, and then rounded a corner and thought, all right, I think I'm gonna win now, and went from last to first in 15 seconds. But despite being this good, he would still bullshit sometimes. One time in France, he decided to do a sideways crab walk during the post parade, which is like the showing off of the horses before the race starts. And this was either him fucking around or a power statement. See, according to the wiki, crab walking for a horse is considered a feat, not a skill. So bro was dead ass just flexing on everybody in the stands and his competition just because, which is also crazy because he ended up getting 14th in that race. It was a crazy one to show off. Granted, they think it's because he crab walked, made his legs tired, so he overdid it a little bit. When flexing goes too far. In fact, according to an article I found, horse experts believe that the real Gold Ship's total winnings of almost 1.4 billion yen, or around 9.6 million, could have been even higher if that actually tried. Despite this, or honestly probably because of it, fans absolutely adored it. He got louder cheers than horses who actually won consistently. So when Uma Musume came around, their developers came to the team that managed Gold Ship, asking to turn him into an anime girl. And from what they've written, they thought their character was maybe a bit too insane. And I mean, if you've seen the anime or any of the clips, fair. But upon seeing it, the team said, the real Gold Ship is crazier, make it crazier. And it's hard to believe that a fictional character is not crazy enough to embody a horse. Like really, beyond all that, what could he have done to really be crazier? Well, what if he's the reason for one of the most expensive fuck-ups in Japanese sports history?
Take off the foo-foo, take off the cloud chase, take off the Wi-Fi, take off the money phone, take off the car loan, take off the flex and the white loss.
June 28th, 2015. Hanshin Racecourse. The Takarazuka Kinen, one of the most prestigious races in Japan. I hope I said that right then. Now, by 2015, Gold Ship was 6 years old. Ancient by racing standards, but he just won 2 massive grade 1 races back to back. Bro, that's Super Bowl after Super Bowl. So he entered the Takarazuka Kinen as the overwhelming favorite. Now, in horse racing, people bet money on who they think will win. When a horse is the favorite, it means most of the money is on them. And for this race, about 12 billion yen was made in bets, or $83 million. Already riding on Gold Ship doing what he just done twice in a row. I mean, it makes sense. He's the 9-10 favorite. I mean, the odds were so low, you'd barely make money if you win. You bet $10 and win 11. But people didn't care. This was Gold Ship. So the horses are loaded into the gates. 40,000 people in the stands and millions watching on TV. Commentator Junko Hoso, herself a former jockey who understood horses, ready to call what everyone expected to be another Gold Ship special. So the bell rings and the gates fly open. And Gold Ship fucking kicks his shit up, bro.
ゴールドシップの3連覇か、それとも束が待ったをかけるのか。ゴールドシップが立ち上がった。おっと立ち上がったゴールドシップ。
On live television, you can hear Junko, this professional commentator who's seen everything, literally scream. Partly because she probably knows what everyone in the stadium is starting to realize. That betting slip a lot of people filled out, that shit is worthless, dog. Gold Ship loses 10 to 20 horse lengths at the start, in a sport where races are decided by nose lengths. But again, remember his thing is he comes back from last. He's definitely gonna... He finishes 15 out of 16. Who the fuck did he still beat? That's crazy. 12 billion yen vaporized, gone, just like that. And the time it takes to microwave some fucking popcorn. After the race, jockey Norihiro Yokoyama gave perhaps the most Japanese ass apology in history. I'm sorry to those who supported him, but that's typical of him. I'll hope you think that as part of his personality. My brother in Christ. Here's the twist that perfectly encapsulates what I think is Gold Ship. After all this, he was put into remedial training for gate starting because, you know. And when he did it, he passed the remedial training on his first try. perfectly. Officials noted that his perfect compliance during testing indicated this wasn't a skill issue. It was a choice. That day, he just said, fuck it, though. Gulcha would race a few more times, but the legend is cemented after that. Like, you can win all the times you want, but if you lose like that, you're remembered as the dude who lost like that. What's that quote? If you build 1,000 bridges, you'll be remembered as a bridge builder. But if you fuck one goat, or horse, I guess. Goldship ended up retiring December of 2015. And I think bro did not care. And here's the thing about it. I feel like in most sports, an athlete who costs fans billions of dollars would be remembered with anger. With Goldship, Japan loved him even more. Because he was exactly who he'd always been. The horse who hospitalized handlers, who gave trainers stress-induced baldness, who walked backwards to the fucking starting gate. Why would anyone expect him to behave when it mattered most? So when it came to Uma Musume, they had to replicate this. And they did, like literally. There is a proper full scene in the anime, complete with the original commentator Junko voicing her own shocked reaction. At 16 years old, he's still at Big Red Farm, apparently still with the energy of a horse half his age. And I think it's really cool that Uma Musume can let Goldship and other horses live on and be learned about through their game. Because I'll be real, I'm a fan now too.